All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Radash. Double honors to the elder apostles, great millstone for rule well, and salutation and much love to Akim out there pushing out this word in truth and sincerity. And the brothers from Great Millstone Tampa back on another live lesson, Lord, so it's edifying to the hopeful elect. And as you see the title of the video, Aliens and UFOs. It's like, and we're just pretty much going to go into the chariots of the Lord. But if you type in, because like we were saying before the live stream went on, people will be saying the common saying is that there's aliens and UFOs, right? From out of this world, whatever the case may be. But they usually say, well, what's in the UFOs? Well, they're aliens. Well, the word alien is found in the scriptures 17 times, from Exodus all the way down to Hebrews, in the book of Maccabees. Okay, and let me start here in this one. I just started the first one, Exodus 18:3, because we're gonna mainly hit on the UFOs, is the chariots of the Lord, but just to prove that when they're talking about aliens, all right, talking about the Israelites. Mm-hmm. So when they say they're aliens and UFOs, well, yeah, they're 100% correct, because there will be aliens and UFOs, the Israelites. All right, so this is Exodus 18, verse 3. It says, you go straight to the point. It says, and her two sons, of which the name, this is talking about Moses, his sons. It says, and her two sons, of which the name of the one was Gershom, for he said, I have been an alien in a strange land. All right, so let's get that word there real quick. In the Hebrew. So,
Tagar.
Yeah, it should be, I believe so. But
which is where he got his name from.
Yeah, exactly. Gershom. 18. What was it? 18? Yeah, 18:3 is the word there for the word alien. Let's see, Gershom. Yeah, Gershom, and then Gar. Yep, alien is Gar, which means sojourner, a temporary inhabitant. Yeah, we're temporary inhabiting. First and foremost, these bodies, these carnal or corrupt bodies. It says a newcomer lacking inherited rights, of foreigners in Israel through conceded rights. So when it talks about Gar or alien in the English, it's talking about an Israelite. Okay, so I'm going to show you when you're talking about aliens. All right, and then there's more scriptures on that. Alienated from the Commonwealth of Israel. What is that? Let me see if I can get it real quick. I think it's Ephesians. Yep, this is Ephesians chapter 2, verse. I started 11. It says, wherefore remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh were called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision in the flesh made by hands, that at that time you were without Hamashiach. So when you were Gentiles, right? That's the time we're talking about. That at that time you were without Hamashiach, because that's when we were Gentiles, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel and strangers from the covenants of promise, having no hope and without the Most High in the world. That was Ephesians 2 and 11 and 12. But the word alien was in verse 12. So when these people are talking about aliens and UFOs, you should know that they're talking about Israelites. All right, because if it's talking about aliens being Israelites, well, guess what? The Lord himself went up into a UFO. You know what I'm saying? And if he's an Israelite and we're Israelites, then, that it would make sense that we are those aliens, so to say, because in these last days, we're all aliens, right? Because ain't none of us were born being known the truth. You might have known you were Israelite. Your parents might have known you were Israelites, but you didn't know. You were without, like Ephesians said. It said you were with at verse 12, Ephesians 2 and 12. That at that time you were without Hamashiach. So you might have known you were an Israelite, but you weren't. You were still without Hamashiach, which would make you an alien from the Commonwealth. You got the blue letter for that word?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Apollo Rio. And it means to alienate, strange. But when you go into the etymology of that word, the root word of it, it's apo, and it means of separation. of local separation, of separation of a part from the whole.
Yeah, we were separated from the whole. But at this time in Ephesians, it was the whole because there were still people that knew they were Israelites. They knew they were Jews. But now, listen, unless when we came into truth, there was people that knew they were Israelites. But as a whole, all of us had to wake up, to the truth. So we were aliens. We were alienated. There's another verse. It's like, yeah, and you guys got it. There's one that says 8. Okay, Ephesians 4:8. I started 17. Again, this is that mindset. This again going into the Gentile thing that's been coming up with vocab, right? It says Ephesians 4:17. This I say, therefore, and testify in the Lord that he has. So this is the key that we're getting at. The aliens, the strangers, all right, or the ones that were separated, the Israelites. So this is a perfect word. The hell with the Gentiles. Let's go with the aliens, right? Which are the Gentiles. It says, this I say, therefore, and testify in the Lord, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk, in the vanity of their mind, having the understanding darkened, being alienated from the life of the Most High through the ignorance that is in them because of the blindness of their heart, who being past feeling have given themselves over unto lasciviousness, to work all uncleanness with greediness. All right, because we go back and continue in the ways of the heathen. But the point is being alienated. Who's it talking about? Who was Paul talking to here? Those that were alienated, all right, or separated. Or go back to that word. You still got it in the blue letter?
Yeah. Ephesians 1 again?
2. I think it was 2 in 10 or 12 or 12. I think it was 2 and 12. So that's who Paul's talking to. So again, the aliens, right? And ultimately the aliens will go into those UFOs. Okay. The ones that you call aliens. And don't they call Mexicans that come to America illegal aliens?
That's right.
Like they don't call a Canadian that comes to America and stays here. He comes on a visa passport and stays here the rest of his life. They don't call him an illegal alien.
Right. Or from France or these other European nations that come over.
Even a Hamite from Zimbabwe come here, or Ethiopia come here, they call him a migrant, a refugee. Yeah, migrant. They don't call him an alien, an illegal alien. What are the odds of that? They call them Mexicans illegal aliens. Why? Why are they using that term alien? Because they're strangers, right?
The aliens.
Yep.
Our people are the aliens, man. Because this is, and then this is a part of the curses, because the Lord said, because you didn't want to serve me in the land that I gave thee, then you will serve other gods in a strange land.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So here we are in a strange land, Babylon the Great, America. This we weren't over here until Assyrian captivity, man. But this was a strange land. The Lord didn't give us this lot as our portion, man. He gave us the Middle East over there, the Fertile Crescent, really from Egypt all the way to Iraq. All right,
Euphrates.
Yeah, the Euphrates River. But what? This is a strange land, so we become strangers. We become strange. This is why the scriptures refer to this place as spiritually Egypt again.
And not only because of land, but to our heritage.
Right.
Jake, our people are lost in the sauce, man. They don't know who they are. They're Gentiles. They've been alienated from the Commonwealth of Israel, man.
My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. They've been, and that's the key thing in these last days, is that you've been separated from the knowledge. Because in the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, because if you were to come back to that, you're coming back to your heritage. You're coming back to your customs as a people. Now, we understand that we ain't going to get a ticket and fly over to Israel, because that's not the thing to do. The Lord said that he will deliver us. He will gather us up out of the lands that whereto he has scattered us onto. But when you come back to this Lord, you're coming back to your heritage. You're no longer being called a stranger, an alien. According to the world, we are, okay?
Yeah, and again, that word, alien just means stranger at the end of the day.
Right. And that's confusing.
And that's why where did the scriptures come first, or did the term UFO and aliens come first?
Right.
So how did Esau just put in alien to correlate with UFOs and space creatures?
Right.
Think about that. Did the scriptures, King James Bible got the word alien in it, but you think NASA was first? So why are they using the term aliens in the Hollywood films, making this word aliens from this and aliens from that?
Right, well, let me read it in the NLT there, that Ephesians 2. This is Ephesians 2 and verse 12 in the NLT. In those days, you were living apart from Hamashiach. You were excluded from citizenship among the people of Israel,
Which is the Commonwealth, right?
And you did not know the covenant promises the Most High had made to them.
Because they were strangers. They didn't know.
They fell away. Which, well, in that time, it was they went into captivity. They went off. They were wicked. Now we had to fall away.
Right. It's came and gone. Now we're back. But you can still call us aliens, whatever you want to call us, because we were at one time Gentiles. Right. But this time, that's why I'm saying aliens and UFOs, because those aliens are going to go into the UFOs, man. Because at one point we were strange. We were in strange land. In a strange land, we were cut off or ignorant, if you will, of the promises, the covenants, all these things that the Lord promised us. But now that we come back unto the Lord, now we're no longer strangers anymore to the Lord, all right, to our heritage. We're not ignorant of those things anymore. But the majority of our people are. But guess what? They still are people,
The scriptures say, seeing ye have seeing ye have come back to the Lord, seek him 10 times more. I'm paraphrasing. I forget how exactly it goes, but now that you've come back into the fold, now that you've come back into the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of who you are, you got to seek the Lord 10 times more. Which is, that's what's separating the ones that are going to be recognized by the Lord in the day of salvation from those that are not, because not all Israel is coming back to know who they are, so the Lord ain't going to recognize them. He's going to say, depart from me, you workers of iniquity, and that's, talking about men that know the name and calling upon it too, but how much more those that don't believe, that God, I always did the rosary beat. The Lord is going to be like, nigga,
did the Hail Marys and all that.
You're still an alien unto me. So you're going to be brought back to your death. You got to die. Because you're strange. I don't fuck with strange shit.
That's strangers. They tell you not to take anything from a stranger. Don't take candy from strangers. The Lord ain't dealing with you.
The Lord didn't even want us to mix seeds. That's how the Lord. That's how much the Lord don't like the strange things. Because
that's a perfect point. Because there are accounts in the scriptures where it talks about aliens, which is talking about the other nations, because they're strangers. But at one point, like when we started off in the Exodus 18, when Moses was a stranger in the land of Midian, right? Or was it Midian? I believe it was Midian. The father-in-law was the priest of Midian anyway. But I believe it was the land of Midian. Yeah. Jethro, priest of his father was the priest of Midian, but nonetheless he was in a strange land. That's why it was an alien, and that's why he named his first son Gershom. Okay, which goes back to the same thing. Alien means guard. Mm-hmm. Yep.
They move stranger.
Exactly. So that's why you rightly named. So But go ahead. You have more on that? Or that was it?
That was it.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm just gonna bring out that word.
And then after that, we'll go into the chariot scriptures. All right, because again, we go with the aliens. You call us illegal aliens. We are aliens according to the scriptures. All right, or Gentiles, however you want to call it. All right, we are Lord's will be those men. We're gonna be in the UFOs, man. And guess what? Our brothers are in those UFOs, man. The angels of the Lord. All right. Our Lord himself, all right, is an Israelite. So if you calling us an alien, you call him an alien in the sense of this world, not saying that he didn't know who he was, but in the sense of this world, what people call aliens are what? People just coming in UFOs, from Mars. No. It's the Lord's chosen people. That's who's going to be in the chariots.
Mars attack shit.
Yeah, when Mars attack, it ain't gonna be big headed dudes with fish tanks on their heads, fish bowls on their heads. Right. Them fish bowls represent the afros. All right, like that movie when Mars attacked, they had they had the big old fish bowls. And what killed them? The music. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well,
and then in the movie, what's that movie? Oh, World of War. The
water,
oxygen eventually.
Oh, oxygen. Okay, yeah.
It's like, come on,
bro.
Yeah. Telling you right there, straight to your face. I got the word alien. You kind of brothers already went into it, but It's alien. It's an adjective from the etymology online. It says strange, foreign as a stranger and a foreigner.
It's like it. And two, Esau, what he does, man, he shows you that angels are men.
Yeah.
Right.
But then when it comes to what's in the chariots, you people want to act like it's something outside of nature.
Right.
Some creature.
They don't believe. Oh my God, what is it?
Cannot
Some advanced technology from far away.
Like, bro, how many? And that was something that I always had in my mind. Well, not always, but prior to coming into this truth, that I was like, what else are these people writing down? As I was reading the scripture, I was like, what else can they describe something that they're seeing in the air? Mm-hmm. You see a cloud every day in the air. So when you see something strange, and you in the ancient days, like your brother said, UFO, the term UFO came after the scriptures, man. So it's like, hey, what could that be?
And if you believe in the Bible, or you say you read the scriptures, whatever, you believe in God and Jesus, all right, well then you would have to ask yourself, because it's undeniable at this point that UFOs exist. It's not debated. It's not up for debate. All right, it's not maybe they do, maybe they don't. No, it's a fact. The U.S. government has come out and said it. There's been mass sightings over the last 100 years, and it's getting even more and more in these past months. All right, over there in Ukraine and in other places. But so you would have to ask yourself, if you truly believe in the Bible, if the Most High is the all powerful and omnipotent, then what are these UFOs? What are these things? You telling me there's an advanced society, or what they say, advanced technologically advanced society out there that the Most High don't control, but He the Most High? So if you believe in the Most High, then you would have to believe by default that anything coming from outside of the earth is controlled by the Most High.
Class 2.
Okay.
It's
right next to the router, but we got one bar.
Oh. And it's crazy because Yahweh Shai himself said, "My father had many mansions."
Right.
So you got to ask yourself, what is he talking about? Because where are the many mansions on earth? If that's the case, if you want to think on a carnal level, where are these many mansions? Where did Yahweh Shai go that the angels told him in like manner shall he return?
Right.
How did he leave?
So you telling me that the Most High is going to allow aliens to come and invade Earth, but he the omnipotent, but he going to let some green goblins come, the ant people come, or reptilians from planet, what was the Hotep niggas used to say, Planet Risk or some shit like that. They're gonna come from Planet Risk and conquer Earth, but the Most High ain't gonna do nothing, man. Come on, man. That He's sending them, and they're not. It's not that they're coming from other planets, which they can technically they can. Because the brother just mentioned those other mansions, but they're interdimensional, and they're even what do they call them in the Dabu 7? Intertrans something like that.
Interdimensional?
No, it was a trans multi-transcendental or some shit like that. They go from water to the air to the space. I forgot what the term was.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, come on, man. That's in the scriptures, man. That's all in the scriptures. The abilities of these chariots, which is far beyond our capabilities and our even what we can even fathom. Man, that's going to be the method of our delivery. Okay, we're going to be delivered in those same exact things you see in the skies and appear here and there. That's the same things that's going to deliver the elect. We'll be part of that number.
That's right. Hey, and like backing up the brother, the technology that these so-called UFOs have, like he was explaining, going into the water, the depths of the water, coming out of the water, going into the skies, going at hypersonic speeds, stopping at a drop of a dime. All right, this is technology that is not of this world. It's technology that is from the heavens. Okay, the heavens are the heavens, going through different dimensions. All right, different wormholes. All right, so these things are entering into this place. All right, so showing you that it's the power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Okay, He's showing His power. All right, through the things that He's showing onto the earth. All right, these are the things that the people are questioning. These people are asking and wondering. All right, but the Lord is showing what his power, all right, through these chariots, all right, through the angels, the aliens, all right, that you so-called call on,
which are, like Brother said, the angels, the messengers of the Lord. There are brothers, man. You know, so and again, like Brother mentioned, man, that technology is far superior than anything the Earth has ever seen. You know,
because even Esau has tried to mimic it, and all he can do is have some type of thrust to move you from off the ground, and then if you think of a helicopter, because a helicopter is the closest thing to a UFO.
The hummingbird effect, as they say.
Yeah. But that's all that is. It's just it's moving air, and a helicopter is able to move side to side, but it's not able to do things like a chariot
turn on a dime and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like because the G forces. That's why we have to be changed in a twinkling of an eye as we're going up into them chariots. Because your physical body, they've done this. That's why pilots have to go. NASA, Navy pilots, they have to go through intensive training to even get ready for the G forces, 10 G forces. Red Bull pilots, they do all these fucking crazy turns on their little planes. They have to go through intensive training to prepare their bodies, months and months of training, if not years of training, to get ready for just a fucking one turn. Oh, nigga pulls a 10G turn. The average person will never even feel that. So imagine a chariot where they turn on a dime. That would break your neck. and instantly, most people can pass out from 2 to 3 Gs, instantly, being pulled. I don't know. You have to know what G forces to know what I'm talking about. But a G force instantly like that, 3 Gs instantly like that, if you've never experienced it before, a lot of times you're going to pass out. That's why a lot of people, they go on jet rides. You can pay for that. And people, them niggas be in the back just passing out, puking on themselves, and that'd be like 5 Gs. These chariots, they don't even expect it. They just chilling in the chariot, just moving around, because they're one with the shit. The scriptures tell you that he neither lift a hand or go ahead.
Oh, with Yahweh, yeah.
Well, and there's the thing, wherever his head, there's another scripture that said wherever his head went, there went the. It's roughly paraphrasing.
Ezekiel 1.
Go ahead.
Well, I can start above and just go into it.
Go ahead. Because that's the point, man. Because these chariots, man. That's why we can't enter into them. We have to be changed. Esau been talking about alien abductions and they get anal probe. That's all bullshit, man. That's fiction. That's science. That's not even science fiction. That's fair. That's cartoon shit, man.
That's to put fear in people.
Exactly, because they know what's in them chariots, so they want you to fear them chariots. When they come, you're gonna fear them and not hope and praise Yahweh Shem outside when they come. It's all a psychological game, man. Just remember, one of Esau's things is deception. So of course he would tell you that the salvation of Israel is evil, Martians and this and that. Go ahead, though.
It's Ezekiel chapter 1. I'll start at verse 3. The word of the Lord came expressly unto Ezekiel, the priest, the son of Uzziah, in the land of Chaldeans, by the river Chebar, and the hand of Yahweh was upon him. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it.
I got something real quick. This is 2 Kings.
Yeah, because that brightness was that burning coal, and that brightness was the light underneath it. Everybody sees that. You had that video recently that came out where the lady was like, if you're a person, flash your lights.
Oh, yeah, flash the light.
And then eventually it flashes light, man.
Right.
Go ahead. Read verse 4 again, and then you can stop at Greek cloud. Greek cloud. Or just read the whole verse 4.
Ezekiel 1 and 4. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire.
All right, so it's describing the chariots. This is 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 1. Let's go back to when, let me just read it. 2 Kings 2 and 1. And it came to pass when Yahweh would take up Elijah into heaven by a whirlwind, that Elijah went with Elisha from Gilgal.
Real quick, because it says taken up by a whirlwind. You think about a helicopter when it's coming down, all it's wind blowing, just throwing air everywhere. People having to duck
or even a tornado. What happens in a tornado? It takes things up.
Yeah, exactly. It says a gust of wind moving, man.
Right.
And that's what the chariot was causing.
Yeah, so that's for the whirlwind. That's a precept there for whirlwind. You know, again, it said it took Elijah up through a whirlwind. Into what? He just went up. No, he went into the chariot because remember he got translated. One of the few people, him, Enoch, and Yahushua, right? And then when it said in a fire enfolding in itself, let me get Exodus 40. Exodus 40 and
a quick point, to back up the brother is you look at that movie Nope. All right, it plays.
Nope. Oh, I haven't watched it.
Yeah, the movie Nope. It has the chariots in that movie, but it shows what the brother is explaining with the whirlwind, how it was taking up the different horses and the people and the different things up into the whirlwind, and it went up into the chariot, and then the chariot drove off. So that's how it's going to be. All right, when these chariots come to what? To gather up the elect. Okay.
This is Exodus 40. It's like, yep. Exodus 40 and Exodus 40 and 34. It says, then a cloud covered the tent of the congregation, and the glory of Yahweh filled the tabernacle. Is this what I'm looking for? Yep. This is and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle, and Moses was not able to enter into the tent of the congregation. And again, then a cloud covered the tent. What's that cloud? Right? It says, and Moses was not able to enter into the tent of the congregation because the cloud abode thereon, and the glory of Yahweh filled the tabernacle. And when the cloud was taken up from over the tabernacle, the children of Israel went onward in all their journeys. But if the cloud were not taken up, then they journeyed not to the day that it was taken up. For the cloud of Yahweh was upon the tabernacle by day, and fire was on it by night, in the sight of all the house of Israel throughout all their journeys. I mean, if that don't click it in your mind, then we don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, because you can look at any movie of that's somewhat of old, or maybe it's a rural place where someone's at, like the movie Indiana Jones. They play it a lot. When you go into a dark place, what do? You light a fire. Right. They put it on a pole and they move it in front of them because the fire is going to light their way. So that's why the scriptures are describing it as a fire, because it was the light. It was light in the dark.
Right? They didn't have flashlights and LEDs, bulbs, and all that back then. Yep. But those were luminescent, if you will, luminescent lights coming off them chariots, man. Neon lights, whatever you want to call them. Shit, lights out of this world, really. Because fluorescent and neon, those are chemicals that we know of the periodic table. Neon, fluoride, fluoride, whatever the hell is fluorescent lights is made of, composed of. But nonetheless, though these lights, them lights go forever. Like a bulb will blow out. These lights, that's why when we was led out of Egypt, it was a pillar of fire. It wasn't. It was flames in the sky. Oh my God. The earth, the clouds are on fire. No, it was lights.
Yep. And a pillar is a support beam. Mm-hmm. Right. So that fire was support for them in the night. Okay, for them to be able to see where they were going. Yep. All right.
Go ahead, though. Go back to Ezekiel.
Ezekiel 1 and verse 5. It says, "Also out of the midst thereof came like likeness of 4 living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man."
It's telling you the characteristics of the angels. Yep. All right, and go ahead. I know there's a precept to that. Corinthians, but they keep up. Read that again, so I can find it.
Also, out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures. I know there's one in Revelation. And this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man. Yeah, that's because why? Because there are men in them chariots, man. It's not creatures. It's not a lizard. It's not some unknown being that we don't know what it is. It's an angel of the Lord, man. All right? That's what's in there. You got it up?
I got Revelation.
Go ahead. If you got it, yeah, go ahead.
I'm not sure. It's Revelation 11 and 12. That's not it.
It says in verse 6, and everyone had 4 faces, and everyone had 4 wings, and their feet were straight feet.
Read that again, Bob Bishop. It said, what was the first one characteristic?
It says verse 5, Ezekiel 1 and 5, and also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man.
A man. man, I can't. It's been a minute since I gone into it, but the man, I believe, represents
wisdom. We're just going to get into it.
Yes,
It's
okay,
in verse 10.
okay.
Yeah, it gets into it in verse 10. But it says, verse 6, and everyone had 4 faces, and everyone had 4 wings, because this is the directions that it could go. I mean, it could go diagonal, whatever, okay, but it's going to go in, it's going to break it down even further. Verse 7, and their feet were straight feet, and the sole of the feet was like the sole of a calf's foot. This is the foot of the chariots, man. Right. This is what it's coming down on, all right? With the landing gear, so to say, if you want to put it like that. And you who have ears to hear, let them hear, man. It says, and they 4 had their faces in their wings.
Okay, yeah. It's okay, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, keep going.
Verse 9, their wings were joined one to another. They turned not when they went. And they went every one straight forward. So
that's what I was mentioning earlier. They turned not where they went. So you don't need to pilot them and fight against the elements and the G forces. You don't have to do it. They just turn where they went. All right. They don't have to turn their heads and check where they going. Check the direction of the traffic. None of that.
Yep. It says, as verse 10, as for the likeness of their faces, they 4 had the face of a man.
Yeah, which is wisdom. Like you said.
And the face of a lion on the right side,
which is courage.
Yep. And they 4 had the face of an ox on the left, which is strength.
Strength, yep.
They 4 also had the face of an eagle.
Just fly, the ability of flying.
Yep.
You know, as wings. Let's say the scripture say as chariots flieth upon the wings of the air. Roughly paraphrasing. You know, so that's the characteristics of the angels, which are piloting with these chariots, man. Which at the end of the day, you become one with these chariots, man. You pilot. That's why the scriptures talk when Yahweh comes, he has either lift hand or finger, roughly paraphrasing. But because what? Because he is one with the chariot. Oh, it's gonna be like tailored to you, that so-called chariot, man, or so-called UFO. You know, you don't have to pilot it, you know, and make maneuvers and hit the gas and whatnot. Of that. It's gonna be, you're gonna be one with it. Your spirit is gonna be, because remember, your spirit is energy. So your energy is going to be linked to that ship, so to say, and you're going to be able to maneuver and control it like that. And that's how the angels get down. That's why it's shit out of this world, because and Esau's trying to do that with AI technology, because he knows that people are limited, you know, because 10G turn, a nigga might pass out. But AI, their artificial intelligence or autonomous intelligence, which is the higher level of artificial intelligence, But they won't pass out. The computers won't pass out. But you know, the computers got shorted. They might short out. You know, their ECUs might get fried. Can't turn on and shit. You know, so it's limited. They're trying to, everything Esau does is to recreate the things that the Lord has already made, and he's got it on a very small level. You know, because he can do it, but he's doing it on a very small level. You know. You have something real quick?
Yeah, it's a quick one. It's the book of Psalms 104, verse 1. It says, blessed the Lord. I got a couple of precepts. Blessed the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, O my soul, O Yahweh, my power. Thou art very great. Thou art clothed with honor and majesty, who covers thyself with light as with a garment, who stretches out the heavens like a curtain, who layeth the beams of his chambers and the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind.
Mm-hmm. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, go on. Going into the different directions the chariots can make, the ways that they can maneuver. All right, within the atmosphere. Okay, hey, this is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai showing us what there's the power that he's possessed. All right, within these different vehicles that is not of this world. Okay.
Yeah, and think about it, walking upon the winds of the earth. The winds, if you see these birds, bro, they can just literally stand still. If the wind is blowing, they'll stand still, just flowing like this, and it's just glide. And if you see a hummingbird, that is the best example. They can literally just flutter. Them motherfuckers move quick, you know. But that's where Esau created the helicopter and different planes are created after birds. But they can't, because the chariot, they don't have to conform to the wind. They'll slice through it like butter. They'll go through the water, shoot on out of there, zigzag through the air, the firmament, and then go up to the heavens.
Yeah, they defy the laws of gravity. It's what we see. All right, you see the different video clips that they have out there, the different footage that they have of the chariots. You can see it.
All right. What plane can go into the water and then shoot on out and keep going? They hit the water, it's over. It might break into pieces. So what is that? You got to think to yourself, what are these chariots made out? So-called UFOs made out of that they could just splash, not even leave a splash, bro. Just go into the water and come shooting right back out. That goes to show you that they have power over the elements. And that's the same thing that's going to save the children of Israel, the house of David. All right, the Israel of the Most High. So you can't stop salvation. You can do whatever you want, Esau. You're gonna have to fight these same chariots, unidentified flying objects. What the other one term is? Aerial phenomenons or whatever, APUs or some shit.
Identified
aerial phenomenons. You're gonna have to fight them. That's why you say that they're gonna be scared, but there's fight, man. And it's gonna be a landslide victory. It's gonna be 100-0. 100-0, and not one chariot is going down. But every angel, because it said Michael and his angels and Satan and his angels, all Satan's angels is going down. Ain't no fighter jets going to be in the sky after this ass whooping when the Lord returns. Yeah, that was it on that?
Back in Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 11. Thus were their faces and their wings were stretched upward. 2 wings of every one were joined one to another, and 2 covered their bodies. And they went every one straight forward. Whither the spirit was to go, they went, and they turned not when they went.
So exactly, they don't have to turn. You watch these fighter jets, they just and nigga making a fucking tank. He turn, about to pass out and shit. Nah, they just
Denzel Washington on the plane.
Kind of, where he drunk and shit. Crack there, coke. So. The chariot it might be going straight and just juice. It don't have to make a turn, turn the wheel. Nah, just instantly. It don't have to turn. It can be going straight and it just go like that. Like the hummingbird. The hummingbird don't got to turn like the regular bird do. He just, that's the closest thing to a chariot, But and that's on the low level. Go ahead, Doug.
Verse 13. As for the likeness of the living creatures, their appearance was like burning coals of fire, and like the appearance of lamps.
Yeah, there's the
lights.
Exactly, them lights.
Or the windows. They talk about the windows too. The scriptures talk about the windows that encompass a chariot. Man, people draw photos.
There's videos on that. You just Google it. Just Google UFOs. You're gonna see that. Yep. Lights around the chariot. All right, just sitting there and disappears.
It goes on to say, it went up and down among the living creatures, and the fire was bright, and out of the fire went forth lightning.
And that's the zaps. Yeah, them lightning beams, thunder. You're going to hear thunder and zaps, all right? And it means light beams, man. Like Brother says, laser, concentrated beams of laser. And that's what's going to be zapping a lot of you people out here in the states of America and throughout the world, all right? Because it's going to be an alien invasion, all right? All right, y'all so focused on alien invasion. What's gonna happen? It's gonna be a reality, and it's gonna be angels of the Lord, led by the Lord Himself, Yahushua, coming to zap you people. All right, remember the movie Signs? It ain't gonna be no signs, man. With a big old retarded creature come down because it was only when he was allergic to water for some reason.
Crop circles.
Yeah, he's making crop circles for some reason and. Like he was at Hamite. No, it's gonna be zapping you niggas, man. Big headed. It ain't gonna be no big headed camouflaging creature, man. It's gonna be big black men, all right, in them chariots zapping your ass.
It goes on to say, verse 14, and the living creatures ran and returned as the appearance of a flash of lightning.
That's how quick they are, man. They there 1 second, they gone. The next.
It says, verse 15, now as I beheld the living creatures, behold, one wheel upon the earth by the living creatures with his 4 faces, the appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto the color of beryl.
That's the light. And I personally, before I came into truth, I seen a chariot of beryl, all right, which is green. You know, I've seen it. You know, so I can personally tell you that it's real. And it was there, and some nigga in the world could tell you he was there with me. Gad, I know, and he was there with me. Matter of fact, it was right here in his house. It was out front, you know, smoking some L's, and we seen the chariot sit there. We was like, oh, you see that? And we looked at it for a good 30 seconds, and they just, like they just said, they were, what it say in the 14th? And the living creatures ran and returned as the appearance of a flash light. That's how fast it was. It was there, sitting there, green light in the air, and it just shot off like a bullet. Never to be. And we just looked at each other, and you know, I was in the world, so we just looked at each other. We didn't say nothing for about a minute, and then after that, was like, "You see that? Yeah, hell yeah, we saw it. You know, it's just real." And now that, because again, I didn't read the scriptures in the world, but now that I, you know, coming across this, it makes perfect sense. That was definitely a chariot of the Lord. Green light, zipping and zapping, you know, zippity doo bop. Go ahead.
It says, and they four had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as if it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's why a lot of people, you know, they in the movies they show the saucer, and at the bottom it's like it's turning.
Right.
That's the wheel within the wheel, man.
Yep.
You know, whether you want to believe it or not, that's what this
flying
is
saucer,
about.
as they call it. Just watch Ancient Aliens on History Channel.
Yep. It says when they went upon their four sides, and they returned not when they went.
There you go. They went on. They don't have to make turns, and they can just they can go. They can be going 100,000 miles an hour this way, and they just instantly reverse. Phew. You don't have to slow down. They just stop on a dime and reverse.
Verse 18, as for the rings, they were so high that they were dreadful, and their rings were full of eyes round about them.
Yeah, that's the windows.
Yeah, that's the windows.
Mm-hmm. That's what we're going to be watching, those men, the destruction of America.
Right, exactly. Yep. It says, verse 19, and when the living creatures went, the wheels went by them.
Yeah, the living creatures being the angels, and the wheels being the chariots went with them. So that all they got to do is think of it, you know.
And when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up. So that's the chariot. When the angel thought, "Hey, I'm going up,"
got here.
That thing was up.
And remember that one years ago in Jerusalem, standing over that one spot, it just shot into the sky
over that fucking gold dome.
Yeah, I forgot what they call it, but
mosque or whatever. Yeah. It says, verse 20, whithersoever the wheel was to go, they went thither.
So like it says spirit, yeah. Spirit.
Oh, so like verse 20, whithersoever the spirit was to go, they went thither was their spirit to go.
Yeah, that's what we were saying earlier. The spirit is energy. Yeah. So that's what's going to pilot the you know, we're going to be piloting the chariots with our spirit, because our spirit is energy.
Right. Basically, to put it in layman's terms, you can be able to control it with your mind, which is what the angels are doing now.
Exactly. Yeah. Because they're pure energy, you know. They're still in their heavenly form, you know, which is pure energy.
It says, when those went, these went. And when those stood, these stood. And when those were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up against them.
Because remember, in the 10th chapter, it mentioned the characteristics of the angels. And now it's telling you that these are the angels. So the angels went, then the chariots went with them, you know. They're the ones piloting them. You know, and it's not going to be like Independence Day where Will Smith, Captain Cook comes and beats up the alien, you know. He's having a dog battle, as they call it, and he comes and punches him in the face. No, man. It ain't going to go down like that.
I mean, that was pretty much it. Well, let me finish this one. But
22.
Pretty much it. Yeah. Through 22?
Yeah.
Kind of says, and the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. When those went, it says, when those went, these went. And when those stood, these stood. And when those were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. And remember, going back to Genesis chapter 1, when the Lord created all things, or the Elohim, all right, it talks about the living creature was created. I think on the 5th day, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. humans are living creatures. Do we not walk? Are we not alive? We are living creatures, man. So this is talking about a human. This is a person or an angel, for lack of a better term.
Because we're technically we're the same thing. We're the angels, but in chains of darkness.
Right.
We're angels in the chains of darkness, the fallen ones. All right. That's the only difference, because they're still living creatures, obviously. You know, the angels, they just not in this carnal flesh. You know. Go ahead.
Verse 22. And the likeness of the firmament upon the heads of the living creature was as the color of the terrible crystal stretched forth over their heads above.
That's pretty much the point there. You know, so go to this. You got something?
No.
So we can go to this. So wrap it all up, bring it all up around. This is 1 Thessalonians 4:16. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout. Matter of fact, get it Acts chapter 1.
Okay.
Yeah, because let's see how the Lord left in the first place, man. All right, because we reading all these things about the chariots. We read it. We expounded on who the aliens are, and you know. So let's see how the Lord himself even left and how he's going to come back. In whole Revelation chapter 1. You know?
9,
Yeah.
Yeah, chapter 1, verse 9.
Okay, verse 9. It's the book of Acts, chapter 1, verse 9. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him.
He was taken up into a cloud. We read in Elijah, what was it, 2 Kings? Same thing happened to him. He was taken up into a cloud. Yeah, into the whirlwind. Exactly. Go ahead.
It says, and a cloud received him out of their sight. And while they looked steadfastly toward...
Yeah, so you try to put this in and explain this to someone if you're a Christian, what sense can you make out of this?
Right.
How can you break that down? Oh, he wanted to. He just
that's the vocab. That's the question. Vocab right there, man.
The cloud opened up, and that you know how sometimes the sunbeam come down.
That's how y'all say.
No, man, it was a chariot, just like Elijah.
Right.
The chariot came down. The beam, the whirlwind, as the scriptures put it, and it took him up, man. That's as simple as it can get. But if you try to explain it in the terms of how people today understand what a cloud is,
right? It doesn't make sense. It won't make sense.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Back in verse 10.
And vocab, you better not come to 10, but we're going to hit you with them chariot scriptures and see what you got to say about that. Because that's prophecy in itself.
That's it.
Go ahead.
Verse 10, it says, and while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold,
where are the UFO sightings? I mean, you can find them in the oceans, but where are they going after they leave? They going to the sky, the heavens.
Right.
So that's why they're looking up. Go ahead.
It says, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahushua, which is
they were dressed in white apparel, too. The angels don't sin. Mm-hmm. The angels don't go off; they're pure. Yep. Okay. Go ahead.
It's Rizan. It says, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven.
I got Matthew 24:30 to go with that, because the acts happened after Yahushua said this.
Yep.
This is because the angels were reiterating what Yahushua said. Matthew 24:30, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. So in like manner that he was taken up into heaven, then the sign of him from heaven is going to be shown when he comes. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. So that's exactly what the angel told him. Like, look, why y'all standing up like this is some strange thing? Again, going into the stranger.
Their salvation.
Yeah. Just as you think that we're strange, or that we're aliens, that those are aliens, so that's how strange this salvation is going to be. It's going to be you're going to be the people of the earth that are going to remain. They're going to be alienated from the salvation. Okay, they're going to become aliens to the salvation because you're not a part of this. and Lord will we be those men. The majority of the people on the earth, okay, are not nationals of the salvation. They're not. How do I put it? They're not citizens to be delivered, man. They're not. They don't have the passport.
They're not of the root of the vine.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
They can't be grafted in.
Yeah.
They cannot. You know.
Right. They don't have no citizenship in it. But that was pretty much on Matthew 24. Yeah. I'll get to Revelation 1.
Kind of.
Okay, that's what I was in.
You got it?
Yeah,
kind of.
Revelations 1 and 7. It says, "Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so am I."
Yeah, so it's going to be a great, dreadful day for the majority of the earth. People going to be wailing, they're going to be crying, because this is going to be death and destruction. Again, like we mentioned, the chariot is going to be zapping people, all right, lightning, all right, the missiles going to be on their way, and it's going to be people starving to death, all right, World War III, all kind of things are going to be going down. Yeah. But what? The elect's going to be looking up to them heavens for their salvation. You know, just like when the apostles were looking up, all right, to when Yahweh left, that's exactly what they're going to be doing when he comes back. So this is you got something?
It's just the word cloud there in Revelation 1 and 7. It says, "Used of the cloud which led the Israelites in the wilderness." What cloud do you know follows you?
And that's the same cloud that Yahweh left in, and he's coming back in. So they're going to show you that he was there in Exodus, man. And he's going to be here in the last Exodus from the land of the north. So, you know, we can end it off on there, man. You know, so Lord's word is edifying. We're going to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Rachad, give honors to the elder apostles, great millstone, who rule well, and salutation and much love to Yakim out there pushing out his word and truth is sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.